That mother back there is not real.
There was a group of reptilians there, and they stood around me in a circle.
Tradition tells us that the army of the Messiah is not to come from heaven, but is to arise in earth.
All right, it is that day that I want to talk about. It's Monday. Hopefully you had a great weekend, Christmas, and all of those things. But we're getting ready to take a new journey, and that new journey is going to be talking about a lot of these different alien races. And although tonight we might get into the blue avian stuff, but I'm not going to go into a deep dive. I'm just going to raise a lot of possibilities and let you guys and everyone else get involved with what we're talking about and for the future of where we're going to be going. But first of all, again, I appreciate you being here. You could have been any other place tonight, but you chose to be right here, right now. With that being said, I'm going to serve you. And for you, if you're here for the first time, I'm Roderick Martin. This is Truth versus Authority, the rebellion of what we're doing. We are on a journey for 2026 that I want to announce, especially for our community. There has been conversations that I think we've been having in ourselves and our inner selves that most people maybe want to address. Because I think a lot of you have dreams. I think a lot of you have had situations where you just felt something is off. Maybe because it is, the conspiracy of it. And so if you've been following us for quite some time, you know that here in Dallas, we're doing one of the most aggressive things that has been evolving over the last few months here, and first it was meetups, and we call them C4s, Explosion, the Dallas, and Conspiracy and Conscious Convergence community, which these are free events. Our community supporters support it, but you're welcome to come. And if you know anyone in Dallas, you should. They're evolving now. Now we're going to do panels. We're going to have a live podcast taping. And this coming up one, I have a special guest, Greta Chamberlain, is going to be there. And she's going to tell you about her reptilian story of her married to a reptilian. Yeah. So, but also about some of these other alien species. And then, of course, we're panelizing. And then, of course, right after that week, y'all know Billy Carson, if you haven't been watching, is going to be there in town as well. And we're going to be doing Project Black, which is the Black Lexicon of Ancient Cosmic Knowledge, which is kind of focusing in a community what I think is disproportionately represented when it comes down to aliens and contact and all of this stuff. And that's where my roots is. That's where my DNA is. And so, but they're going to be accessible for everyone, for you to come and get that. For those of you who have those dreams at night that you don't really have answers to, maybe you're being visited and you really don't want to talk about it, but we're going to create or have created the space that you do. But in hindsight of that, we're going to build even bigger, because it's time for the touchy-feely, right? The whole world is in this place where it's not real. You don't know what's real anymore. They're releasing all these videos. They're releasing all these things. And they were tagged in the beginning because you would see Sora, you would see all of these things on there. But people, I'm warning you all to tell you it's a setup. And where I'm going to tie this into tonight's conversation, it's all a setup because it's called problem, reaction, solution. And I see more and more of it. There's videos that I don't know is real, and I have to look at it 10 times to kind of look for the flaws. And that's a waste of time. And people are going to be like, hey, okay, we need some type of verification. That's going to happen too. But where I'm going with this is that we as a community are going to go back to touchy, feeling, hugging, love, where you can see, feel, and real conversations live. So when you start coming in Dallas and we're moving us to Houston and all these places, it's live. No more fake stuff. Live people, live love, live energy, and all those things. So since I've set that motion in place, let me get into what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I'm just going off the top of my head that there are species and a history of things. This is this book over here I'm reading, and they talk about this Big Bang theory that everybody talk about. It's supposed to be some kind of flash of light or whatever it is. But it's said that before you and I got here, before we were created, so to speak, because you got to think about it, human species hadn't been around millions of years like the dinosaurs. You know that, right? We know we have not. So if Earth has been here all this time, what was here before that? And so when I started looking at these papers and things that I'm researching, it's coming more clear that whoever came with this concept and put this whole thing together, source, we're going to call it source tonight, was playing around, or some people say playing God, right? Maybe it was God. But the whole point I'm saying is they had some type of situation where they were testing species and things. It's like a playground. Because what I'm reading and find out is that there was fish humanoids, okay? But listen to the word that I'm using as the root word here. There were fish humanoids, there were bird humanoids, reptile humanoids, mammal humanoids, and then there was humanoids. So all of these things obviously were walking bipedal, or in some cases 4 legs, have horses. So we've seen the movies. We've seen what is that? Where the guy was half goat and whatever, you know, Percy, whatever, and the whatever, Percy Miller. I don't know. You know the movie. So apparently that these things were depictions of what was true. There was people have horses, have everything, have, you know, whatever heads, ox heads, and there was this thing that until it became perfected. Now, if that's the case, then there was DNA genetics, right? If we can think about that. And if there was DNA genetics, meaning the bloodlines continue. So what I'm studying, and I'm not saying this to be true, but I'm not saying it's false either, that there are some of you that's walking around that you are part blue avian, that we all could be saying that we're black people, white people, green people, but we all could be descendants of all of these other species that was here. It just evolved, evolution, it evolved. All right. Or I'm just saying, you know, in context. And then, of course, we all could be whatever they say, right? But then it led me to the moment of I was getting ready to kill a roach this past weekend. And for a minute, I thought about the Men in Black movie when the guy, when whatever, he was upset because I'm saying you're a descendant of something that's still here because you're here. All right, I know it's far-fetched. I know it's Monday. I know you ain't got time for that. You just been high off the, you know, the Christmas gifts and turkeys and all that. Now here I am speaking some about some species of things, but I'm not alone about this, right? I think there's some high strangeness, things that are going on that we just don't think about because we're so busy with the jobs. We're busy with all of these things, which leads me to something that I want to discuss with you. It's on my phone. It's a new app that you all have to check out. You got to check this out. And I'm not going to play it for you because you got to get your own. But this app, and the name is priceless, by the way. It's called the Awakening app, right? But anyway, it's an app that, well, I'm going to play the video. You got to see it because, you know, they're supporting what we're doing. We're going to support them. I'm supporting the app as a user. And I was like, hey, we got to share this with everybody in our community. It's Awakening app. It's new. It does some amazing things. So listen, I'm going to play this. Don't go anywhere, but maybe 40 seconds, and then we'll discuss it and tie it into where we're going. But I need you to kind of be on with the program because it is time, people. It is truly time for all of us to do that. So listen, check this out. Put in the chat what you think about it. This is just a clip, you know, but you can go and get more information on it. But check this out.
Awakening app is where intentional AI meets a deeply human, heart-centered coaching experience. Your journey begins with intentional AI onboarding, where a gentle series of questions maps your emotional, social, spiritual, and cultural intelligence. The voice journaling module is a warm, private space to process your coaching sessions, speak your truth out loud, capture your epiphanies, and invite somatic release, so your body, mind, and spirit can exhale together. And there is one more tender layer, voice cloning. A dedicated module allows the AI to speak to you in your own voice. Neuroscience suggests that hearing empathy, kindness, validation, warmth, and affirmation in your own voice may stimulate the bonding centers of your brain, inviting you to literally bond with yourself in a new, healing way. Awakening app is more than coaching. It is warm, intentional, AI-supported learning, and unlearning. A loving companion as you remember, reclaim, and become the fullest expression of who you are.
Man, that is a powerful tool that I think that a lot of you will want to check it out. And I put it right here on the screen. You can kind of see it there, but I support this app. I think you should use it. In fact, when you go to it and then when you start processing it, put the word truth in there. It's going to ask you, so we kind of know our community is using it. But I want to hear everybody's experience of that. And then I need y'all to lobby. I need y'all to lobby that they put my voice on there so that I can be the one telling you, wake up in the morning. You are beautiful. I love you and all that. But otherwise, you're going to hear it from yourself, and you should be hearing it from yourself. But anyway, I'll leave that here just a little bit while we're talking. You can get it on the Google Play as well as the Android. And we want to support that app in our community and everything else, because we got great people among us doing great things. So let me continue while I leave that here just for a moment. And let me know when you download it. And if you do use it, when we do all our shows, I want to know your experience, especially that voice part, affirmations back to yourself, and then the transformation. And this is something that's really needed, y'all. So anyway, blue avians. Let's start there for a minute. And we're talking about how that people think about this. And you go, okay, we got these species, the Palladians, all of this stuff. But what if they are descendants from, let me back up for a minute. They could be part of another solar system. We know the Palladian star systems and all this stuff. But where I'm going with this, all of them at some point was here. They were here on planet Earth doing whatever they was doing, messing with everything, messing with our genetics, because that's how there may be blue people walking around, or used to be green people, And so when people start talking about this outlandish story of reptilians, which, I'm on a personal journey of that, but it goes deeper than that. It's deeper than just reptilians. This is all these other species. So over the next month or so, we're going to be going through all these different species, and I'll start having guests on here. We're going to talk about this because I think something's going to, get your attention that you're going to be like, damn, I may be that, or damn, this may be one of my bloodlines, because I don't think we all just walking. This is my personal opinion. We all walking around here, and just because we look like we're humans, that we are all cousins and deep cousins. And I think there is somebody saying that they were messing with different things, which meaning your DNA, which also comes back to the superpowers that people possess that they don't know. Because if we have these DNA hidden within us, then it's about them keeping it a secret, because somebody mixed some stuff to make us what we look like today. Make no mistake about it. I'm not trying to go to this Adam and Eve shit, right? I'm not trying to go to we evolved from some apes. Hell yeah, maybe there was some apes first, and then they took a little bit of ape, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and made. Because those people still look like monsters and different things today. Because I'm studying all these bloodlines all the way back to vampires and werewolves, which makes sense now because we think they're mythical creatures. But if back in the day, according to what I'm reading, and there's a term here that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I can spell it, and maybe somebody can pronounce it in verbiage or whatever. But the main thing was that in the beginning, that not the beginning of when, God said, let there be, but there at some point, there was a bunch of different humanoids, a bunch. And we're talking insectoids, bird humanoid. Now, let me give you a story. Again, make sure y'all get that app. I'll take this down and put it back up in a little bit. The Awakening app, y'all, there, make sure we support them. I'm using it, so that's why I'm telling you. I believe it's a good product. It's in my phone, all right? And yeah, I love listening to me. All right, so go back to the Dogon tribe. Let's go back to the Dogon tribe. If you go back and you look up a lot of Dogon tribes information, you will go back and you will see Dagon, which is the same people, the Pope. If you go and look at the Pope in the Vatican, that if they turn their head, the mitre or whatever it's called, it looks like a fish head because that's who they were symbolizing. But you go back to the Dogon tribe, which they were worshiping Dagon, who was the fish god. Now, Dagon probably would call them Dogons. There could have been some, similarity to the whole tribe, but it was a fish god. So now when you think about it, they had fish humanoids back in the day. It makes sense that anything that came and didn't look like us, did whatever, us humans at that time was so primitive that we would believe anything. So when we get into the blue avians and when they start talking about that there was some bird humanoids out there, it makes perfectly sense that so now let's go into mermaids. Now it ties in the story that mermaids exist, right? Because there are fish people out there. Now they may not be as beautiful as we tried to depict them and because we became the most beautiful thing of the creation. Maybe it's because I'm being biased at the fact that, you don't look like a lizard, because I know some people that may look like lizards, right? But I'm saying to you that we became the most beautiful thing because remember the gods, those angels found the daughters of men beautiful and decide to breed with them. Now, I can imagine, I said it before, some of you women that was beautiful back then had to go up against some donkey head man with a donkey whatever, you know what I'm saying, or dino guy with a big dinosaurus, that's your fault. Yeah, I don't know how you put up with that. But I'm saying I can imagine what was really happening, your dedication level of dealing with that. You get what I'm saying? Because they didn't say they found men beautiful. They found the daughters of men, right? So, yeah, I mean, think about it, a bird, dude. But I'm talking about, a horseman. Put the kids to bed. I'm just talking. Y'all know I'm talking. Don't mind what I say and all that kind of stuff. But I can imagine what y'all went through in a time like that. But don't get me wrong. Anyway, let me keep it real. But as I was saying, you're talking humanoids, right? You're talking these humanoids that it makes sense that we could be descendants of all these species. Now, this book continues and it goes into a lot of primordial things and everything else. So where I was going tonight was to talk about the avian possibility. Now, I'm going to include some of your messages in the chat in this conversation because it's almost like, okay, what's going on with this, blue people, bird people? Because, if you really think about it, it'd be very hard to really fathom the truth of that, or how can we, with cognitive dissonance, that we would think that we could, believe that that existed, right? Because it's hard enough for people to think there's other things besides human beings walking around here. But yet they see all this stuff, all these creations of things. Dr. Strange says maybe, let me put it on the screen here. He said maybe these mythological stories is what he said. See, he can use my spelling box too. That's my guy. So anyway, the stories of these creatures are from Mars was not blown up. That's my point. I think we're on the same. I'm saying that these things didn't go nowhere. It's a possibility over time through evolution that it didn't go anywhere. What if they're here? What if you are part bird and you like birds and you sing like a bird? You walking around looking like a damn. There are some people look like fucking birds. There are some people you can look at and they look like birds, right? You're like, damn, you got a bird face. You know what I'm saying? There are some people look like lizards. There are some people that look like lizards. They may not have the skin, but you look at them, you look at the facial features and like, damn, that's a reptile. And there's people that look like fish. You got friends that they look like fish. And maybe we joking and saying that you got this look. Maybe they part fucking fish and part humanoid bird, part whatever, because somebody was playing with all of this DNA and they just so happened to made us. And then we come out with a little more perfection, maybe. But to another bird person, they might be the most beautiful bird creature there is. Y'all with me? Am I standing out here by myself? Am I really far-fetched tonight? Because, all right, maybe because I didn't get anything for Christmas at all. And maybe I'm because I just learned that what I could be saying right now is from trauma that I had 2 days ago. Yeah, I just learned that. So I could be talking about this because I'm upset because I didn't get shit for Christmas that I want to tell y'all this. It ain't Santa Claus. It's a bird humanoid. It's a fucking reptile humanoid and maybe a mammal humanoid and humanoids. And every kind came from constant outcome of evolution. So that is the past. It could be past drama that we look like the way we do. But I'm saying to you, isn't it not worth exploring the fact that people that are walking this planet, your friends, cousins, brothers, sisters, whatever, they don't start looking at people with a kind of cross-eyed, and maybe they start looking like different animals. Maybe somebody you call a dog is a dog. Maybe this female who moves like a cat, part cat, because they got insectoids. They have, the felines. Right? Those are different species. They have all of these species. Now, remember, they all were bipedal and they all had human features, but animalistic characteristics in them. I'm just saying it's worth us doing this. It's worth doing that. I know it's far-fetched. I know I didn't have a lot of milk nod or whatever, New Year's stuff that people have, but I'm saying to you, I'm doing some research, some deep research, and this shit is leaning all the way back to this stuff. Look, somebody talking about Catwoman. Catwoman is. I'm telling you, you may have somebody in your life that moves like a cat, and you think they're just being cynical. Oh man, he moves like he's a dog. Maybe he's a root for real, and maybe there's a dog in him, right? Or there's a cat in her, and a bird and freaking snake in that person, a roach in that one. And because everybody got animal totems. If you start going to symbolism, they're attracted to something. I like the owl, but maybe I'm hoo-hooing. I don't know. But there's a movie called Grimm. Have y'all seen the movie Grimm where all these different, and it's probably the same thing. Go check out Grimm, the series, right? And someone said I saw a child at the hospital that had a bird. See, I know I ain't making this up. Look, he says, Roderick, I saw a child that had bird features in the hospital when I was young. They kept him in the hospital ward. There we go. Now we getting somewhere. Now we got witnesses. Now it's stacking up. Somebody's going to admit that you have a bird thing. Maybe you got a bird tail and you don't want to tell nobody. Maybe you got feathers growing out your back. We're not talking about you because that don't mean it's insidious and you're a hideous person. I'm just saying it's a possibility that you might want to go backtrack, that you're part fish, that you're part bird, that you're part reptilian, mammals, human, all of this stuff, because somebody was doing scientific things and on everybody. All right, Mars, she said maybe. Somebody said, I pick up what you're putting down. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping that I just want to, create some information to give you enough information to create the curiosity to the possibility that what I'm saying is possible, because it's not too far-fetched if we start thinking about it. And if you start looking at all these pictures, even on the thumbnail, the Palladians, the Arcadians, and all these different species, they look like humans, but they're different colors. Why do we got these blue people? Why do we got all these different people in the UFO community or whatever these species that are showing all these different species, and we don't believe that we could be descendants of some of these people? And if Earth was a project planet, that everything was here, because there's a reason why nobody's bothering us. Y'all know that, right? There's a reason why we're off limits until some of them, like this pesky reptilians, violated the treaties, I think, and start, there's a reason why they mind F us all day long. There is a big reason why they block our minds, right? They don't want us to remember nothing. Everything that we do, everything we eat, everything we see, everywhere we go, every system that's created, everything is designed so that we don't remember. And they're constantly upgrading that system. I thought I was searching for the truth at one point, as of 2 weeks ago. I thought I would say that I'm a truth seeker as of 2 weeks ago. I thought that we are looking for truth speakers as of 2 weeks ago. I realized, and I don't have the verbiage yet, I'll make up a new name that we are, but it's all about us remembering. We have to get a word for that. We need to provoke the thought of remember or a memory. We got to remember who and what. Now, we can remember the trauma, as I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier, that sparks up in conversation. But what about the truth? What about who we really are? What about how we got here? All these things. What if it turns around to be something totally different that we need to do? What if that? All right. He says books by Ken says Return of the Blue Tribe. See, thank you for the contribution of conversation. Thank you for doing that, right? He said his book by Ken Carey said Return of the Bird Tribes. Everything's interesting. All right, so we're getting somewhere. So I'm and I ain't read that book. I haven't read it. It's just that when I start studying this weekend and I got a lot of stuff that we're going to start covering, that I'm like, maybe we're talking about the wrong stuff sometimes. The conspiracy ain't what the politicians are doing. It is bigger. It is bigger. Somebody did want us to know that we are part of this thing, that they're playing with us. There's a hidden field, the shield that's blocking. You know, they call it the soul net at one point in time. There is a bigger thing happening right here, people. This is not what we think. What we're doing here in this particular realm of where we at is part of some game, so to speak. You know, this meat soup or this alternate reality, or maybe some people say timeline, or because I tell you that we're infinite conscious and awareness. I'm infinite conscious and awareness, living the experience as Roderick Martin, this YouTuber that you see, right? And when I began to say I want to change that, we think in a literal time, I'm thinking, okay, come back 6 months from now, you're going to see a different version that I'm making sure that you see in the future. More articulate, more smart. You know, I'm always be a little more handsome because I'm getting more beautiful as I get older, right? Yeah, okay, it's all good. I'm gonna trim this up. I didn't go to the barber. I wasn't gonna stand in no Christmas barber shop. I wasn't seeing nobody. You know, I wasn't going on my uncle. My uncle passed away, and who was doing the stuff, and I was up here at the office, and then I got some food. But that's all right, you know, because if any of us right now, if I did not get a haircut for like 6 months, and I did not trim the little nails in about 6 months, I don't care who you are. Any one of y'all right now, the most beautiful person that I'm looking at, and I've seen some beautiful people. But if those beautiful people did not groom themselves for a year, they will look like bird monsters. They will look like fish humanoids. They will look like reptilian humanoids, because the stuff is going to grow out. Everything is going to grow. If we wasn't trimming this stuff down, some people will have hooves on their toenails. We will be animals. We will be some of this. Think about it. If I'm telling you, some of the most beautiful people, if they did not do all the stuff that they do and just let it just be, just let it be. They'll be imprehensible, or whatever the word I'm trying to use, the big word that I'm trying to think of, that just, they will be not just ugly, they will be monsterfied. I'm just making up something. I'm just saying to you all that it is possible that that's it. Now, I'm saying this to say, I'm just holding conversation though, right? I'm just holding conversation, but I'm just telling you, okay, I just killed the gnat. Maybe his buddy is going to be pissed and be like, all right, we're going to go over there and tap him up a little bit. And no, I didn't. I missed him. Okay, so you get what I'm saying. All right, we're going to discuss that stuff. And I got to do another promotion. I'm saying it out loud. If you're coming to Dallas, Billy's going to be here. Project Black, y'all know we've now activated this thing. And who is that? Oh, it's my friend Nursing. Where you been? Project Black is going, Miss Nursing the Paranormal. We're having our first Project Black meeting this week, Billy, and a lot of them's coming down, and we're activated. Where are you? Where are you? That's my question. But anyway, so think about it. What if some of you did not groom yourself? Am I kidding? That if some of you let everything just grow out, that you'll look like one of these monsters? Because see, they didn't have that technology. They didn't have the barbershops. They didn't have beauty salons. They didn't have nail filers, and they just walked around on the rocks and let the rocks trim the hooves, and they walked on 4 legs and they let everything grow. They smell like nature for real. What if we didn't do none of that? Would we be what they created in the beginning? Bird people, reptilian people, fish smelling people, smelling like fish. Well, we already know some people smell like fish. Let me stop that shit. All right, scratch that out. Maybe we can edit that part right there. I'm gonna edit it out right now in your mind. I didn't say nothing about nobody having that because you don't want to deal with that anyway. Okay. So the other point I'm saying is I'm bad. Okay, but I'm just saying. Holy cow. Hey, let me tell you something. We just keep it real. We're just talking here. We're talking about aliens. You're not an alien. I'm just telling you, but maybe they just have fish bloodline and that we don't know that. All right, so what? Okay. All right, so, but am I alone with this, though? Do we have people walking around that look like some of these animals, right? And if they didn't groom themselves, they would turn literally into one of these animals? Every picture that you see that, you know, when they have these movies and there's some human jumping across buildings with long ape-looking hair, if you shade them down, it looks like us. But just because they didn't get shaved, they look like some, you know, Sasquatch or something. So what is going on? What kind of world are we really in when it comes down to this? And pretty much, so if you're in Dallas and you come to our C4 event free, you got to register. There is some type of energetic exchange there. There's a booking fee. You'll see it's $1, whatever. But come to the event, Greta Chamberlain, and I'm gonna have her on a podcast probably tomorrow, the next day. I get her on here and she'll share a little bit, but not everything. But she's gonna tell you she was married to a reptilian. We got somebody, she was married to a reptilian. She's going to come to Dallas and talk, but she's talk about other stuff, other aliens. She's really deep conscious, right? So we'll get into that at the C4. She'll be the guest. But then we'll still have you guys. We'll have open mic. We're going to have a panel now where, you know, yeah, our C4 is evolving and it just gets better. You know, some people stop coming, some of them come, but the people that's coming are going to continue. We're going to give you something special. And then that week later, Project Black, the beginning of the first of the year, the first guest of Project Black, Billy Carson, is going to be there, and we're going to have a panel. We'll talk about people sharing their experiences, and it's only here in Dallas, okay? And we're going to continue to do that. So y'all better come. So as I was saying, let's see in the chat right now. Do you think there's people walking around that look like something that they're really not? And when you kind of like just like, damn, you know, you turn your face. Just let me know. Put in the chat. Have you recognized someone that you know that did not look like human, but had some kind of animal traits? They just had some feature that reminds you of some animal, right? A bird or whatever. Maybe that is the tone. Okay. Just Joy said, yeah. Mars said, yeah. Cass says, definitely. Nurse in Paramount said, absolutely. You all get what I'm saying? Because I'm starting to do this research and I was blown away because I'm looking for, you know, ancient culture of Egypt and shit. Now I'm like, no, wait a minute. We got to go way back. Way back. Tommy Thunder said, yes, and the fish thing too. I'm staying out of that one, okay? I'm staying out of that. What I'm saying is that whatever, man. You don't do my whole outline off with the fish name. All right, so I got it. Let me pull it down from here. So I'm just saying, though, is it not true that we could possibly? So when we start talking about, you know, are they blue avians? And like I said, I just put that on thumbnail to kind of tonight. I'm just ad-libbing tonight. You know, we'll get more structured conversation as days to come as we're going to be doing this. But I'm just saying to you that maybe that is something worth us talking about. And it's worth talking about that there is a possibility that, and I'm on the first chapters of this book, and I'm not going to call it out yet until I finish because, you know, I did have people that would read this stuff with me and we would go through book club type stuff, but y'all are so busy. Everybody's so busy. I know everybody's so busy. And this is what I do. I do this 24/7, 12, 365 plus OT. And I enjoy it. I love it. And speaking of love, I love you. I love each and every one of you. I want you to know if you didn't hear it over the holidays, I love you. And that is what we're spreading in our community is love. But I still love you if you were a bird humanoid. I'll still love you if you was half reptile humanoid, not half. See, you'll be a hybrid or descendant of the bloodline. So when I start also looking, when we start thinking about the Anunnaki, I'm just saying, and we'll go over this with Billy, that Enlil and Enki was not just, because you remember one of them was half reptilian. Y'all remember that, right? But when I started looking at the Anunnaki was a species, but they had different bloodlines. So this is where a lot of these other bloodlines are tied out to, the thought, and all of these different bloodlines. I'm like, wait a minute. That is something that we have to do. That is all these different bloodlines, okay? And so what if what we think we're studying is really our truth, but because they don't want us to remember, we don't remember the true essence of things that we're supposed to. So while we're looking to say, okay, the Anunnaki are black people, and remember I told you, there's a different black people than my skin and this fucking mouse pad, which is black. All right, that's black. But we call this black. But everybody, the babies and everybody who's seeing people seeing this, they're not seeing this when they say the black people on those ships. They're seeing some fucking black people, like really black, like dark black. Is that a difference? All right, so someone says that Princess Diana was quoted saying in her interview, they're not human when referring. I'm with you, right? So we're taking this for granted, and people want to laugh when they start talking about, oh, you looking for the reptilians. They are here. I know it's more than that. I just always been infatuated with the lizard people, right? Shapeshifters and all this stuff. And I will continue to do so because that's just, I'm learning more and more, and that's just what I like to do. But there's also other species. So we're going to start talking about all these other species too. And then we can tie them back. And maybe you'll find your lineage. And maybe when you look in the mirror with your blue self and you wonder why you got this little shade tint blue, it ain't because you had, you know what I'm saying? And you wonder why you look over at somebody and just so happen when the light hit them and they got scales. But, it's just when the light hit a certain angle. Or maybe they walk off and look back, they do look like some type of humanoid gorilla, and you be like, damn, he got them gorilla. He's muscle bound, but he got gorilla features. And maybe when she walk off with the little wag and it's a cat ass, and it's really a cat, or maybe she's a half deer. And maybe when she walk, the doop, and you think it's a big butt, maybe it's a big donkey, half donkey. I'm just saying, it's comical because it's like, wait a minute, this just can't be happening. This just can't be happening that we have all these things inside of us, right? This is just, and now we talk about it, but maybe there's some truth in it. Maybe there's some truth. Oh, D, what's going on? Long time no see. D says Britney Spears says she woke up a reptilian. I know, right? These people are doing it. And they're waking up, and they're starting to be honest too, because you can't hide. There's something about what's happening today that the veil is breaking, and I think that's what it is. Dart says, I'm just saying that Green Orion gal from the TOS pilot, is that Minagari? Captured my young imagination. Green reptilian or something green can't be a coincidence. It's not. And see, now you get, okay, so y'all see what I just done in this show tonight, right? What I did was purposely talked about in an outlandish conversation only to spark your memory that they have blocked. And all of a sudden, everybody's starting to remember little bitty things that you should be remembering, right? Now, of course, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier right before the show, and they were saying that, all right, we was talking about trauma, though, and how it sparks out from you may be doing some current, and then the trauma of the past is that. And then I was like, well, what about what we're doing now? Is that going to be in the future? But again, the memory that I'm sparking, maybe it wasn't trauma, but why can't we evoke that memory? Someone else said I'm crazy. Devin, my guy, he said I'm crazy. I'm not going to say Devin looks like, whatever, but he says I'm crazy. But you get what I'm saying. That's my guy. But he can do that. He can say that. All right. And someone says absolutely. These are not things are not as they seem, and love this open-ended conversation. Yes. And there has been some that take advantage of this, though, such as CG, which has been the biggest grifter scammer in the community to have. CG, such as CG. I don't know what that is, but we'll leave it. Don't put the name, though, right? We're not bashing anybody. But you damn sure can email me who CG is. But y'all get what I'm saying, though. It's like we spend so much time, looking for the facts of facts when the plain, simple shit is right in front of us, right? And we just not doing it. So, for example, I know a lot of you, I was getting the email, 3i Atlas is here, they fit to step off, and people getting ready to step on a plane. That shit is where, right? And I've told y'all, we have to stop looking at things that way because it just get people in a bind or whatever. People, what I'm going with this is that this planet Earth that we are occupying with our bodysuits, with our souls being trapped here, is one of the most guarded fucking regions in the galaxy. There are some people, some forces that are bigger than what we see that will not let some people come mess up their good thing. They're harvesting our energy. They're doing a lot of stuff. We are here purposely being done, whatever it is. And you can rest assured whenever that Atlas did come and got closer, remember it was a week away, 2 weeks away, whatever it was, tell them to turn the fuck around and don't come here. You're messing with my stuff. But that don't mean that there's not several dimensions here, like 10, 15 dimensions. And each one of these levels of dimension have different levels. But where we are in this third dimension, there are some people using what we got here. And they're nothing but to have these souls stay here, and they keep harvesting it, and they get our energy and the being. There is a game going on right now, a huge game. And while we're focusing on Channel 8 tonight, or we're focusing on the win and loss record of the Cleveland Browns, I did watch the game. I'm a Shador fan. But you get what I'm saying? And we're focusing on all of these stuff. There are some people playing a soul game. Not soul, S-O-L-E, but S-O-U-L. They are taking our souls. They're getting the information. They're getting this energetic stuff from us. They're harvesting. And while we're arguing with our family members, while we're focusing on this kind of stuff, they are laughing all the way with the money of Loosh, our energy. And we're like batteries. So when you hear that there is something coming, and then they're announcing it that it's coming, but then you still get your bill in the mail. When your bill stops, when all of a sudden you call the water company and you passed due and they ain't got nobody turning it off, when the car people ain't repoing the cars, when the phone bill is just going and ain't nobody worrying about money, all the rich people are in their bunkers. See, that's what they did. They left. They went and go hid in their bunkers and all this stuff, and nobody's working the system, and the employees ain't nobody. That's when you get a little worried. But as long as the bill's still coming and they're cutting you off and they're telling you better pay tomorrow and the operator's still calling, but 3i Atlas is coming, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you that these are things that we need to do. Those are noticeable signs when that's happening, right? You get what I'm saying? Dr. Strange says, crazy is being well adjusted in a sick society. You get what I'm saying? It is that. Oh, my guy said what I was talking about deer and donkey asses and stuff. So I didn't take offense that you said I was crazy. I knew who it is, right? But now you're being Pacific. Yeah, there is some shit like that, right? And y'all y'all don't just leave me hanging. Why you didn't put it in the chat that you agree with what I was saying? Don't let me just be on one talking about deer and donkey asses and walking around. You know what I'm saying? Make me look all goofy. But y'all get what I'm saying, though. Back to Atlas, back to the blue alien stuff, back to the possibilities, back to aliens, back to paranormal, back to all of this stuff. This is a strange world. It's just strange. And the minute that you begin to take that more, I'm trying to kill this gnat. Oh, I got him. Well, y'all see that? That was my cat-like reflexes that I summoned up from my DNA because I couldn't get him with the normal tortoise reflexes that I had. So I summoned the DNA of the cat. Y'all see, I start speeding up, and I caught him, and I unalived him. We got superpower. We have superpower. We just got to figure out where the DNA is. Atlas. Then there was something else coming. Then there's something else coming. And people are the star seeds are gonna be taken away. You know how many people pack their fucking bags? And they like, okay, they're coming to get me. People, we've been waiting for somebody for 2,000 years. My mom told me he was coming. And it's been 2,000 years. Make it stop. Make it stop, right? Make us look at what is really happening, that there's all these species, there's different genetics, there's experiments, there's demons, there's angelic, whatever you want to call them, there are spirits, there's stuff that we can't see, there's all of this stuff is happening in real fucking time. And the quicker that we start realizing that, the more fun we're going to have with it. Some of you believe in ghosts, but you don't believe in extraterrestrials. Some of you believe that you can speak to your grandmother in another dimension, but you don't believe in something over here, right? When did we know that is all together? This all shit works together. This is high strange. It all works together. That's all I'm saying. There you go. He put it in there. He put it in the chat. That's my man. But you get what I'm saying, right? How do we activate it? What are we activating, Victorious? Let me know. Give me a little clearer, because I'm not really following the chat, but I can. All right. So, all right, let me know if let me know if y'all with me tonight. You right? Because I like to have real conversations. I don't have nobody to talk to, so I can talk to y'all. You see, I'm like you know, when I did this podcast, it's because I had people around me I couldn't talk to about aliens. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just build my own group. Now it's 30,000 of people in 126 countries. And yeah, I can just talk. And maybe you should do it too. Or come to our events and you can vent all you want and ain't nobody gonna laugh at you. You can come up with the fucking most weirdest story. Because now I've opened up the box. If you come tomorrow and say your husband got up in the middle of the night, he had hair on his back, and it wasn't because he didn't shave, because he looked like a fucking, gorilla, and he was really part gorilla humanoid. That is true. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Those things, because somebody was building all these different species, and just that we became a little perfected the way we are. But like I said before, I reiterate, let you not groom yourself for a year. You will look like one of these. You will smell like a fish if you one of those automatically. You will probably look like a bird with a fucked up beak, because all this shit is going to grow. All right. Your skin is going to look like reptile skin if you part reptiles, because it's going to grow. Then, the humanoid stuff is going to grow. The mammal stuff is going to grow. If you want to figure out what you really are, do nothing for a year and a half to 2 years, and we all will know what you are. Maybe that should be an experiment. Maybe that should be the real experiment. Now, I'm saying I don't want to experience that with none of you, particularly. So whoever, don't go and say, Roderick, I decided I'm not going to, bathe for a year. I'm like, no, if you think you're a fish, bathe. Okay. If one thing is you fish genetics, take your ass and bathe. It's do what fish do, stay in the water. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that kind of craziness. But I will tell you, if something happened, we don't have all these tools and stuff, what will probably happen. Because think about it. What would a dog look like if he can shave? You're right. Some people got mixed bloodline. They really do. They have mixed bloodlines. I'm just telling y'all. They really do. Remember the Hal Bopp comment in 1997? There was a cult fallen and returned Heaven's Gate. Yeah. And they all deleted them. Yeah. Right. This happens all the time. And remember, there was something coming this last year. And remember the influencer, the sister, beautiful girl, had a big audience. And whatever was supposed to be coming, she unalived herself, believing too deeply in the conspiracy. And we got people that do that. If we do what we need to do in our community, our minds, remember I told you your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. There's no other way to looking at this. We need to focus on the mind because what we see, they manipulate that. And there's amateurs can do that toward you now. There's amateurs can fool you now till you think who they are just by looking at them. But what if we get better than that? What if we can see it? And you see it, you smell it, Some of you got wolf noses, Some of y'all call it psychics. I'm psychic. Fuck no. Maybe you're a part eagle. You're an eagle humanoid. You can see the future. Some people are like, hey, well, I sense these things. Maybe you got a fox nose because you're a part fox. See, we're not thinking about that. We're going to call them gifts. Maybe it's the species and the DNA that you have in you. Maybe you can see because you're a bat. Maybe you can run fast because you're a cheetah. You get what I'm saying? Part cheetah. Shaq could be part dinosaur. He's so big. We thinking he's just a tall human. He could have dino DNA. And it just came out. He could be dino, because they said in this book, there's dino humanoids too. There's dwarfs. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff that somebody was playing with all of this stuff. We got people that are 8 feet tall. Then we want to say, oh, they part Nephilim giant. Where the fuck is a part giraffe? Maybe there's a guy in the NBA that's like 8 feet tall. And we want to say that he's from whatever. Maybe he's a part human giraffe noid. And he carrying giraffe DNA and he just growed it out. Y'all, you see what I'm saying? Listen, we're just having a great Christmas conversation. A great Christmas conversation that we can talk about these things, but it all started with the hunt of me trying to go back to find the origins of the DNA of some of these aliens. And when I went back to start finding that they do go back. Yeah, those giant men in Africa. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying, where you find giraffes in Africa. All right, I know y'all can label me crazy if you want to tonight, but I'm just telling you, when you get off this podcast tonight, you're going to start seeing shit different. You're going to be looking at people like, damn, And you remember the movie Grimm? Grimm, the whole thing is like, did he see the different animals in people? I think that's the message that they was trying to send. I never thought about it until I think about it now. I like Grimm. It may be some mouses, maybe some hogs, and maybe they're snake. Remember, because Grimm does that. They morph into all these different animal-like species. They always telling us the truth in the movies. And anybody watch Grimm, the series? Anybody watch Grimm, the series? Let me know. Anybody? Let me know if you watch Grimm, the series. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. And let me know if you watch Grimm. Because you have to know the guy. He can see all of this. Because, they'll be in your face and then they'll come back. Right? All right, you did. Grimm is good. So the concept that I'm talking about, even though it's all methodical and scripted in Grimm, is what they're saying in this book, which could be true. That there was all of these different type of humanoids with a different name in front of them. All different kinds, sectors, and the list goes on and on and on. And so where did they go is what I'm trying to tell you. Maybe whoever did all of that perfected their evolution and kept saying, I'm going to create something else. I'm going to create something else. I'm going to create something else. And over time, we began to look like something else. But it all started with the same DNA blueprint that whoever it was, because those same insectoids, those same reptilian, and those same humanoids all had 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Go look at it. Go look at the blue avians. Go look at the insectoids. Go look at the whatever, the felines, the tall whites, the Nordics. Everybody got a nose and an eyes and a mouth. Somebody said that this works. Someone said this particular pieces of the puzzle works. Let's keep that. It's like a car, right? They making different cars, but they all still have engines and tires. That they figure that part out. Whoever is making a car is going to make an engine, and they're going to make 4 wheels. It's like standard edition. Yeah, praying mantis. Maybe the very tall ones are from giant bloodlines. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they're not, right? I'm just throwing out some conversation because I like to be conversational. I know people come, they want the facts and stuff, but my job is I like having these conversations to kind of throw stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? She said, yes, I did every show. You saw Graham, then. Okay. So you get what I'm saying. NBA Anunnaki, that could be. They all tall. They all come from the same species, you know. I was telling that to somebody the other day. They was telling me, well, hey man, you got to tell the truth. I said, well, what if you have a dwarf kid and he want to be the center for the Los Angeles Lakers? You're going to tell him the truth? Like, kid, you will never be tall. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But the point I'm saying is, so eloquently, is that in the coming weeks, we're going to go down different species. That's what I wanted to tell you. We're going to be doing that. Another thing is telling you to download the Awakening app, because I think the app itself, I'm using it. And like I said, I like listening to myself. So I talk to myself, it talks back and it does affirmations and all those things. And I think, man, you're gonna really get this. It's a beautiful thing. So make sure that you go to the Google Play Store and the App Store, download the app. There should be a place that once you say put truth, that'll let the people know that it's coming from us. And like I said, we're not. And I'm honestly telling them, we're not getting paid for this. I'm not lying. I like the app, and I know the people who created it, and I want to support the app. So this is not a paid promotion. This is real deal. It's on my phone. It really is. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not doing it just because of that. I want y'all to know it's real, and you should get it. You should download this app, put it on, go through the things, start having your daily affirmations in your own voice, and then it's going to evolve. It's going to do things. It is a beautiful tool for you to have. That's all I'm trying to say. So anyway, when you do it and you use it, next time we come back for the show, I want to know who has, so I can give you a shout out, okay? And make sure you do. I want you to get a shout out. And for those of you right now, you can be downloaded while we're talking. Download it, put in a chat that you downloaded it, and let me give you a personal shout out. Okay, that's what I want to do tonight. Who's with me? Go and look for Awakening app. Okay, and look for this logo. You see this thing on my picture, the logo itself. I'll get the meaning of that pretty soon because it does have some symbolic meaning, I'm sure. From the creator, but I'll get that in conversation. But anyway, somebody download it. Let me know as we continue our conversation, and I'll give you a shout out. It's just simple. Go to the App Store and the Google Play and do it. All right. So someone says that there is nowhere in the Law of One that the raw material was described themselves as blue avians. This was created by Corey Good, so I'm not sure who's claiming this apart from him. All right, so no, all right. It has nothing to do with the raw material. I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that let's bag up to whoever is the raw material, created different species, and one could have been blue avians, reptilian humanoids, all of this stuff. So not as the central point of creation of that's what it is, if that's what you're saying. So the source is not what I'm talking about. So I'm not saying the source is them. I'm only using it in context of conversations that it is a species of lineage of different ones. And so the raw materials, maybe you go back, could be saying that just like anything else, there was a raw material I'm using for metaphorically or whatever for a car, but they built a Chrysler, they built a town car, they built a Corvette, from raw materials to build a car. However, I'm saying there's all these different species. So I'm just saying that you're saying the blue avians describe themselves. So it's not them being the blue aliens, the blue avians. It's that the blue avians did exist and they could have descendants. If I explain that the way I'm doing, okay. All right, so Maya. All right, so here we go. We got people downloading the app. We have. Let me give you a shout out. Empathy London said download it. Let's give a shout out to. I would do the clap, but we'll probably do that. We need at least 10 or 15 people to do this tonight, right? And then I'll know you're listening to me, and then maybe I get some brownie points, and then they'll give me. It is a free trial, so y'all can do it, try it, and all that. It's worth. I'm past that point, but it's worth it, you know. Anyway, so we got 2. Maya, thank you. She says she downloaded it. Great. Let's do it. Anyone else download it? Let me know. I'm not seeing the app. Where you're not seeing it? You're not seeing it? Like, where are you looking at it? Google Store or Apple Store? Because I have it on my iPhone, and then it just was released on Google Android this weekend. So anybody who's downloaded on Android, let me know that you found it. Let's go there first, because they just released it on that, and I need to know. So let me know. So y'all look for that, and we'll see. But anyway, where are you looking at it, John? And then we'll go from John. I might need to mail your stuff out, or you gonna come up here and get it, man. You gotta come. You gotta come to this C4. This coming up. It's the structure of change and everything. And then you say you're gonna do some stuff down there, right? Google Play, the Awakening app. Okay. Maybe we need to find out. I don't have an Android. Everybody's not perfect. I have a Apple phone. So maybe that we can find out and see. We can find out and see. But anyone else, y'all let me know. Look on there and see if y'all can find it. I can't tell on the Android, and we will. I have an iPhone, so I know it's on the iPhone. Okay, it's Awakening app, all one word together. So like on the screen. So why don't y'all look that up? And then what's the app I was listening but walked away from? All right, wait a minute. All right, so it's on the screen. The way I typed it, I know I spelled it right? It's one word. It's awakeningapp.com. So go to awakeningapp.com. Shoot, I didn't know that. Let me put that on the screen for y'all. All right, so go to awakeningapp.com, and then you will be able to find it there. So anyway, what about it though? Blue avians, whatever kind of avians, right? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about that, and y'all make sure I'm spelling this right too, because y'all know I be spelling shit. I'm getting better though. I'm getting better at my pronunciations and spelling. All right, so there you go. Yeah, right there. All right, so there it is. It's scrolling across the screen right now. Awakening, and y'all check to make sure the spelling is correct. Okay. Oh yeah. Shoot, we have a bonus right there. Let's do it. Now I got to give you a clap because we do need some funding, y'all. I don't have my cash out, but y'all, we do need some support. We got a lot of stuff we're working on. Look. Someone else said they did not find it. You did not find it in a Play Store. Oh, we need to get on top of that. I mean, literally speaking, we need to get on top of that. All right. So, yeah, we need to get on top of that. I can't find it in the Android either. All right. So maybe go to the website. There we go. Go to the website. I'm sorry, and download it. How about that? It's not that. Okay. So y'all looking for it. Oh, somebody else said they just downloaded. What did you download it on? What did you download it on? Android or whatever you do? Which one? Yeah, y'all get shout out to Pray 7 for the donation of $49.95. All right, so let's keep going. So, but anyway, go to the website, awakeningapp.com. I'm thinking that you can get it from the website, right? So we will do that. Yeah, awakeningapp.com. So awakening and then app.com, and then download it from the app, from the website itself. That would do that. But we're going to get on top of it, literally, and then we will find out what is happening with this thing. I'm going to take that up on myself for you all because I want you to have it. I'm going to do my job. You have to scroll down in the Play Store. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So make sure y'all do that. They said that you can find it. You got to scroll down in the Play Store, and then there's where it is. All right. So when you do it, let's keep talking, and then let me know that you have it, and we'll give a shout out, and we'll do what we do. All right. So let's continue. So now don't get me wrong. This app start talking to you in your bird voice. Then it's really working because it's going to do what it hears. All right. All right. So Diane says she just downloaded it from Google. Yes. All right. So it is there. The symbol is right here on my screen. Y'all give Diane a round of applause. All right, so let's continue to talk. So thank you. So we do know it exists. We do know it works, and we just got to find it. So what we need to do eventually is make it number one, so it'll be up on top, right? We're gonna work on that all this year. All this year, we're gonna work on it because I think it's something we can have. So who out there? Make sure you let me know you get the awakening out. But who out there believes or know that there's other species, but they could be humanoid types? Okay, you did find it at the website. Yes. All right. So that's going to be the mode of transfer. We're going to go there in the future. Thank you for going through that to find it. No, you found it, but that don't mean you downloaded it, right? So, all right, download it. But anyway, so praise 7. Let's do that. Maya, put the Cash App up in the thing here. So we are taking donations for what we're going to be doing this week. So I want y'all to know, all of you, that but you got to come to the C4s if you're in Dallas. You got to come. We're going to be having someone talking about reptilians and stuff. Oh, this is going to be so good. The movie, They Live. Yeah, They Live is the movie. So let's go back to say that. Because right now, there are people that are born with tails. Y'all know that, right? I've said it before. There's people right now born with skin, lizard skin, and all of this stuff. That's in the DNA. Their parents look like me and you, but the baby came out with a tail. It came from somewhere. It came from somewhere. Definitely it did. You get what I'm saying? Here's someone says that he says, I've been Syrian, Lemurian, Palladium, and Arcturian in the past life, so I guess, yes, I'm a hybrid. There you go. Why not? It's not too far-fetched. It's not too far-fetched that you're a hybrid. I'm with you. Geocompass is all kinds of interesting bringing lurking around these jungles. He's in a jungle. He's true. Yeah, he's true. She said this university is way too vast for us beings, only the humanoid ones. So, all right. So I'm glad that I'm opening y'all up to that tonight, because that's the point I'm trying to make, that's where it is. All right. There you go. Right there. So if any of you want and finding any value from what we're doing tonight, you can say hello that way, but let me keep talking. All right. John said, I just downloaded, sign up. What's the promo code? Truth. It should be it. If not, you sent that code at the beginning. I saw that too. I don't know. But anyway, just go ahead and use it. But Truth, somewhere in the end, you will put the promo code Truth in, but I did see that in the beginning. See, I knew I wasn't the only one. Yeah. But Truth, after you on board, I think you'll be able to say where it comes from, like a referral or something. But anyway. All right, well, good. We got people now. We get about 10 more tonight as we talking. Let me know who downloads it. 10 more, and then that'll be good tonight. We're going to get it to 100 really fast, but let's just start somewhere. App is a subscription. It will be after the free trial, but it's worth it, okay? Just try it. You know what to do from there. Yes, it is worth its weight in gold. It's less than a cup of donut a day. We're talking not even $1 donut. Tools are worth it these days, especially something that's going to talk to you in your own voice so that you can be steadfast at what you're doing. That is a small matter, but just try it anyway. All right. Just try it for free. You can try it. It's all set up for everybody to get a shot at the title and do all that. But yeah, it is. All right. But anyway, you'll find the value on it. Just know that it's not going to cost you anything today to download and try it. So that's not going to happen for you. So, but either way, you're going to keep it though. I know you will, because it's going to have value. You're going to keep it. You're going to use it. It's going to structure stuff for you and everything else. All right, so they're also saying in this book that I was reading that there was some type of there were some wars, right? There was these race wars, and these race wars started getting people to go against everything and each other, and all this stuff, right? And so they were just talking about that. So, and then supposedly it was these different species, different stuff that they were having and all this stuff. So I don't know. But one thing I do know is that these half horses, minotaurs, and we start looking at all of these Hollywood movies all of these stuff are telling us the truth. They're telling us that there was some type of creatures, and we ain't even call them creatures anymore. We're calling them humanoids, and they'll do that, right? So it's like, yeah. I just think it's something that we want to understand. I think it's something that we will determine to look at more closely, like all of us need to, and then you can say, all right, this is what it is. I just want to have the conversation. It wasn't that much tonight. The Galactic Federation supposedly is made up of many races that all get along in one piece. I'm reading, according to what I'm reading, Doctor Strange, is that they didn't get along. They don't get along. There are some rogue ones in those groups. They're talking. It's like a council that don't agree, but they're bickering among themselves. We're just a small ant in this situation, right? We're just down here, but they're fighting among themselves, and whether they do their battlefronts, we just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, space politics and all that. We just don't see it. So apparently it is happening in full throttle, right? And those are the things that's going on. All right, so we've been here about an hour. I just want to kind of talk with you. Tomorrow we'll be on Forbidden Knowledge, and then we'll come back here every week too. I'm gonna start doing more lives, and then we're gonna tape the C4. So I want you to know we have a film crew there. Oh shit, shucks, I forgot. All right, listen, everybody, listen. The website is up. truthversusauthority.org is up. On the website, I want you to go through it. It's going to tell you about Project Black, what we're doing with that, and then it's going to tell you about the C4s. There is a page that says get involved, and there are several different ways to get involved. One in particular, you could say that you want to be part of our skilled team, because we're going to start doing a lot of training, webinars behind the scene, enlightening people, training people. But I need to know who in our audience has a special skill, something that you know that you can train, and we'll put it all together so you make some money, because it's worth noting. Knowledge is what we want. That it can synergize with what we're doing. There's also a section if you want to share your experience, you want to be on a podcast of Project Black and all that, what we're doing, you can fill that out and check the box and it'll come. You can also say, I want to be part of the lexicon of Project Black, where you want to be on the side that we have you on a podcast. You are part of the panels. You are moving the movement. There is a section that you fill out and it'll come to us. And then there is a couple other ones. So the website is ready to go. Then there's also a forum that we're going to be sharing stuff there. So truthversusauthority.org, you got to go in and Google and log in and all that stuff. And if you run into anything that's not right, send me the bugs and everything, right? We want to know the bugs. But I am saying that we need to expand our community knowledge, and I need to know what you know. All right? If you have something, that a skill, a license, or something, I don't care what it is, but if it's something that can teach and help people, and we can fix it where you get something and we get something too, because we're going to provide the structure. We need to enhance our community across the board in all areas, not just conspiracy, not just consciousness. If you know some stuff in business, maybe, we got people that can do Reiki. We got people that's we're going to do shadow work. We're going to do a lot of stuff, trainings. We're now ready to go. And we have a facility where we can do classes live in Dallas. And then we can also do webinars of those same classes. Of everything. We are a ecosystem, all right? And we're up and running and we're ready to go. So go to truthversusauthority.org and you'll see where it says get involved. Fill one of those out only if you. Now, I'm not saying that you know this, but we're going to vet everything. We're going to vet everybody in conversation or whatever it is, and we will put things in place. But if you want to share a story. Also, I need help with, and I need to put that in, but I need some people that is going to be part of our media side. And that is, you are searching stories, you're searching the internet, you're doing things. I don't want just links. I need some real people. And then eventually we're going to pay. We're working on that. We got some stuff, but we want some people that can go research, find out the trending topics, come back and say, here, when we meet in our meeting, here's all the things out there. Here's what we found. This is the clip. This is what this is. Don't be just sending me a damn link. I'm saying this is serious business what we're about to do here. And then we can say this is a good story. This can go in Project Black, or this can go in this. And then those people is going to hand it off to my other team, who could be you. And these people are going to reach out and get with these people. So we want all this flowing at one time. So I need some people. I don't think I have that particular. Yeah, it may be a way you can do that. But anyway, there's plenty of places you can get involved. And this is a business of what we're getting ready to do. Serious people, serious stuff. If you're not a researcher, you're not thorough, don't do it. Because I don't want to lose the relationship in saying that what you're doing is not adequate for us to feed a community of people, right? Remember, it's not just you. I don't have the time to go look at a link that you send me. But if you look at the link and you said 2-minute mark, this is what was said, and then you write it in our sheets, and then we go back and look, what can we get from it, what knowledge and whatever. And then all of a sudden, these people over here is going out to make sure, because they're going to streamline that part, and then we move in the system, and then now we can put it within our panels. We can put it within Project Black and C4s that simultaneously. We can have virtual people, and then I do want a lot of live people, local, that can come. I'm not talking about, this is not volunteers. If this is not what you're good at, do not do this, please. But eventually, within time, it may be some part-time money, it may be whatever, but it's now time to activate the seriousness. But first thing I want is those of you who know something that you can teach something. I don't know, maybe we need to decide what it is, but if it's something that people need to know and can empower them, then I need you to go to truthversusauthority.org, where it says get involved, and fill out the skill stuff for Truth versus Authority community. Tell me what you know, what you can do, what we would learn, what they're going to get from it. Give me some whatever and all of this stuff. We're not talking financial advice and it's some MLM. I know there's some good stuff because I came through MLM. I'm saying specific things. Maybe you know how to do this. Maybe you can form a trust. Maybe you know how to, people can get something different on a car insurance, and there's a trick that they need to say and do this. We want all conspiracies to get ahead. We want everything now. We want everything that they're doing, and you know what's happening, and you behind the scenes, and you can give us the nugget, and we can teach it, you teach it, however, and you get something back from it and everything else. All right. Someone said, thank you, Mr. Roderick, for today. Truth sharing. Yeah. Thank you for Pray 7. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So even in higher consciousness terms. All right. All right. So it's been a plum, please, and pleasure, as well as a privilege. I'm going to get out tonight and talk to you. I'm so excited for where we're going and what we're putting together. The last 5 days, I've put a structure that's unbreakable for, what we're doing and putting people together. We're going to do a first webinars on shadow work and the reptilian shadow work, how you can see all of this stuff, little things that we're going to start doing that I think people need to know. We'll filter them through the website, different stuff. So go to Truth versus Authority, register there, get into the forums. We have 2 forums there that you can get into. Maybe there's some bugs, so I need to figure it out. So if you have a problem with that, there's a contact form. I want you to, just hit me out on any bugs and things that you're running into, and everything else. There's a place for the staff, the people on our team, ones who are already on our team, volunteers. I want you to go there. You get in there, log in, so that there's a communication portal that we're going to be communicating with, as well as the team. And then there's a Project Black forum, and then there's a C4 forum. And then there's a private inner circle. That one's kind of like the donations of what we're doing. All right. So please, if you find any things, let me know. Hit the contact form. Let me know if there's any bugs and things that we need to work out, or any other features we want to add there as a hub. We would do that as well. And then again, if you have something, it's your time. You may be in another country and some stuff, but that don't mean we can't put you on a webinar. We're going to start having guests again here on the show. So if you want to be on the show, there's buttons you can push. Say, I want to be a podcast guest. Maybe some of you want to be on the panel with Billy when he comes, because if you got some specialized stuff, now those will be the VIP ticket holders, because we're going to be talking about stuff after that. But if you are good and you want to be co-branded and we're filming this stuff. Maybe you want to sponsor these events, because this stuff is going to be big in what we're doing. And so it's activated. We're doing it. All right. Somebody said, I just signed up to Truth versus Authority community. Thank you. All right. And I'll register my specialty to share. All right. Do that. We need to know everything that you know, that we can know. Some of y'all got some stuff that you might want to share that'll change somebody's life. It may be the way to fill out some paperwork to get an extra benefit. We want to know everything. Nothing need to go under Truth versus Authority knows that we don't know and we ain't in on and knowing about right anymore. All right. We want to know everything that they're doing and we're going to use it. Remember I told y'all, we're now going to take knowledge, even the most conspiratorial knowledge, and do good. We just need to do good with it. Forget all this straight line walk, as long as it ain't going to harm nobody, right? And we ain't here to hurt nobody, but it's knowledge that can enhance somebody because the elites are using it and then they're ruling us from it. No more. That, I promise you. All right. I love you. I love each and every one of you. You didn't hear the words. I love you. I'm saying it to you now. I love you. I really do. Hopefully we can start sharing and the podcast grow even more with more real talk than anything else. All right. So be careful. TheAwakeningApp.com. Go to it, download it, get your experience. Let me know when we come back here a couple of days on our live that you used it. We'll talk about it tomorrow again on Forbidden Knowledge at 8:00. All right. And we'll see y'all.
UFOs.
UAPs.
Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Who are they? Where are they from? And what is their intent?
All questions that immediately come to mind with the mention of UFOs. A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
This video taken by the Navy showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil is the man who discovered the saucer.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
More people are coming forward with their own sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
Right at that moment, I saw what looked like 5 lights flying in formation in kind of an inverted check mark.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. We don't know what these UAP are.
The mysterious flying objects are still a mystery. NASA will continue investigating them and has appointed a director of UAP research.
Technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Look at the fly!